Possibly with the influence of the Walt Disney Company, a law has been changed in the state of Florida. There was a loophole that allowed someone who attacked another person on Walt Disney property to go free. Let's talk about HP 429 here on That Park Place. Hello, I am Jonas J. Campbell, an investigative reporter for That Park Place, and here with me is a new person on the scene. He's an ingenue. Let's introduce for the first time my longtime co-host, Mr. VashSky. Vash, welcome to That Park Place.
I'm happy to be here. I did not know I was new, but hey, well, you know what? You learn something new every day, like new Florida bills that are passed and go into effect today. That's something new that I didn't know.
Isn't that fascinating?
Up today.
And you know, they don't even give anybody any warning that they can't go around slapping people at Disney resorts. Here we are. So this bill from the Florida House of Representatives here, HB 429. Okay, so I'm just going to state that there's a little bit of legalese that we're going to get through here before we get started, but we're going to translate it into English. We're talking about 2 paragraphs at most of legalese. This is an act relating to real property, amending a previous statute. We're not going to get into all of that. We're going to go all the way down here to line 107 or so. And thank you, Vash, for finding this. With regard to any timeshare project as defined in statute 509-242, the managing entity or manager has all of the rights and remedies of an operator of any public lodging establishment or public food service establishment as set forth in these other statutes, and is entitled to have law enforcement take any action, including arrest or removal from timeshare property against any purchaser, including a deeded owner or guest or invitee of such purchaser or owner who engages in conduct described in these other statutes or in violation of the timeshare instrument. So there's 2 things here we're going to get through first. One is putting this in English, and 2, telling you how this applies to a very specific incident at Disney. I'm not saying this one incident is the only reason why, but this one incident is definitely why it had to change. So with regard to any timeshare project, what we're talking about here is DVC. Vash, do you want to give a brief explanation of DVC and what people are buying into when they get DVC and why it caused a little bit of legal protection in the past?
Yes. So DVC, or Disney Vacation Club, is Disney's version of a timeshare service. And we often talk about how, hotel costs are going up, or DVC lounges. That's what's in reference to Disney's own timeshare service, or Disney Vacation Club. Now, Disney Vacation Club, people are buying into a property or resort, either at Walt Disney World, or there are some others. Aulani is one of them, a couple at Disneyland, and I believe there's one in South Carolina, if I'm not mistaken. And when you are buying into a property, well, now you are sharing that time with that property with all the others that buy into that property. But you effectively own a portion of that property through a deed. And so this is kind of the crucial part of this story, is that, well, the managing entity, as described in this law right here, previously was very limited in how to deal with somebody who was unruly on that property, because effectively that's their home. And so there was a lot of gray area for what happens when a property owner or a deeded owner becomes unruly. Could they be trespassed? Could they be banned for life from that property if they are unruly enough? Well, now this law makes clear that yes, legal action and law enforcement action could actually be taken.
Right. And in the previous instance, a person could say, well, I'm being unruly. I'm drunk and disorderly at my house, which it's not illegal to be drunk and disorderly at your own house. Now, obviously, there were some other aspects here and in an incident that we'll get into that someone clearly crossed the line, but they were afforded legal protection because it was so unclear. Vash, you actually have that specific story ready to go, I do believe.
Yes, I sure do. This is very, very interesting because, Jonas, you really put in the investigatory reporter title that you have right there to work, because we were able to get, via a FOIA request, the actual police report related to this incident right here. And we won't go over all of it because, there are redactions here, but maybe not enough of it is redacted. So we want to keep a lot of this stuff private amongst the various entities involved here. But effectively what happened was there was a gentleman who was a DVC owner who pushed or shoved a cast member, I believe at the beach club resort on Walt Disney World property. The police came and Disney did not actually go through the trespassing process because they were a Disney Vacation Club member. So it says right here, the witness described this guest as a white male, approximately 65 years of age, gray hair, mustache, large build, wearing glasses, and a striped polo with stripes. Thank you. Disney management remained with the guest suspect until our arrival on the scene, which matched the description given by the victim and witness. The guest/suspect, whom Disney management was presented with, was later identified as Antonio by investigatory means. They stated that he could identify the suspect if he saw him again. Disney management declined to trespass Antonio on this time due to his Disney Vacation Club status and this being his home resort, stating that it would have had to have been reviewed by their legal department first. So it's plain right in here in the report that that Disney did not go through the process that it would usually go through with unruly guests because of this kind of gray area that this law, HB 429, effectively remedies.
Yes, and for those of you who don't understand what happened in this incident, this is something where this person, Antonio Acosta, allegedly showed up to the resort with 11 people. Actually, the 11 people I don't think is in question. And the cast member told him they weren't able to accommodate a party of that size. And Mr. Acosta allegedly shoved the cast member with two hands saying, "Thank you for your hospitality," and did not believe that it was acceptable behavior on Disney's part. But that to me is fascinating. Disney management declined to trespass Antonio at this time due to his DVC status. And as has been said in the past, you get many perks with DVC, and it looks like one more perk is going away from Disney property here. You cannot shove guests with impunity. This is okay. So, we often speak negatively about the Disney company in its current status. There's a lot of things that are going downhill. I think this is obviously a good thing here. It's a little bit scary, honestly, to think about what could be done if these timeshare laws, which were classifying a home resort as a home, if that was the legal defense, how you could maybe even extend the castle doctrine there. So if you take this to its full legal ramifications before the law change here, you wonder if someone is allowed to do things in their home that they aren't allowed to do at a hotel. And if you can't eject someone from their timeshare for doing something that they would do in their home or possessing objects in their home that presumably a hotel wouldn't want there, it raises a question of if you have a no weapons rule, for instance, if you're classifying your DVC resort as a home, or if it's the castle doctrine, which the castle doctrine in the state of Florida extends to the person. So, even more questions there. I think this is good. This makes this nice and clear that it's essentially the same as a hotel or a restaurant, which of course Beach Club Resort has restaurants in it. And this was about a restaurant. So this makes it 100% clear that if you are in a Disney hotel, even if it's at your home resort, even if you're there and all these guests are disturbing you at your home resort, I'm just kidding. It's a cast member here. You can't just go fly off the handle and slap somebody and walk away.
Well, yeah, and I don't think it was quite known that you could, but now you definitely can't. I would agree with you, Jonas. I think that's a good thing. Now, you talk about legal ramifications. I think the only concern that I have is, well, let's say you actually do buy into a contract, a long contract worth, 10, 15, 20, 25 years, and now you're buying into a resort, maybe it is, in this case, Beach Club, or any of the other 20 or so on Walt Disney World property, could even be, the one in South Carolina, Alani, what have you, and now you're effectively trespassed from that property. Well, I mean, the ramifications there, I don't think we quite know them, because from a deeded owner's standpoint of DVC, well, now you've just effectively barred them from their home resort, or even in the case of Walt Disney World, barred them from that property. Now you're talking about 20 resorts that they no longer have access to. So does that change the valuation in that case? Do they have to be recompensated? Do they have to be bought out? I'm not quite sure, but folks, if you're a DVC owner, just be on your best behavior, because who knows how that's going to play out in the future.
Don't go around slapping people or shoving people or whatever this allegedly unruly person did, according to the police report. But of course, we want to throw this to our commenters. Does this DVC perk going away give you pause in buying more DVC? I hope not. or at least I hope that this isn't the reason that you were getting DVC. Like this video if you like this video. Stay safe out there, cast members. Please do stay safe. And consider subscribing to That Park Place for all the news that should be fun.
Thanks for watching That Park Place News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.